10 guaranteed mind tricks to smash it when you don't feel like it. 1. Everyone feels unmotivated at times, even porn stars.
When you are hungry, you're motivated to get some food. But if you keep eating and you keep eating, you're gonna get full. The motivation is going to disappear. That's how life is. Life is very much like that in many, many ways. Whatever you have that motivates you, you should expect that it's eventually gonna be satiated. But just because your motivation has been satiated doesn't mean you're done. It doesn't mean you've succeeded. They think that they have to be motivated, that they have to have motivation, that they have to have passion if they want to succeed. Otherwise, they're doing the wrong thing, and that's not true. No matter what it is that you're doing in life, no matter how much you think you enjoy it or how much of your passion it is going to eventually be boring. You're gonna hate it. You're not gonna want to do it. That is just the way that life works.
People ask me all the time, they're like, oh, I don't know what I should do in life. And I always tell them, whatever you're doing, whatever you pick in life, you're gonna hate it someday. I said, even if you're a professional porn star, someday you're gonna wake up and you're like, I just don't feel like today. Is that true? Okay.
Yes, yeah. Some days it's work.
All right, there you go, guys. I don't know what kind of job you think you're gonna get where you're gonna be happy all the time, you're gonna love it. Because if this guy doesn't wanna go into work someday, you're all right?
2. Do you want it, or do you want it?
When you're forming those goals, when you're forming those ideals of what you want to accomplish and what you want to become and get out of life, you really have to get in your head that you're going to make this happen, hell or high water. No matter what happens, life or death, this will occur.
I was a 4-time kickboxing world champion. For 12 years, I trained 5 hours a day, 6 days a week. And I was motivated to train probably about 25% of the time. The rest of the time I went because I am disciplined. Just like you're talking about your ultra marathon. You don't feel like going through that shit on a Wednesday morning when you wake up, but you have to do it because you're disciplined. You're either a disciplined individual or you are not a disciplined individual. A shit spiral, what does that mean? You go on Pornhub or you start clicking on cat videos on YouTube. If you really wanted money, you would not do that. So you don't really want it. There's a difference between want and want. And I say this all the time. People say to me, I want to be rich. And I say, okay, well, I want to be able to ice skate, but I don't want to be able to ice skate enough to go learn how to ice skate because I can't be bothered. Surely, if I could click my fingers and be a figure skater, I'd click my fingers. Who wouldn't? But I don't want to actually go train because I don't want it enough. And this is the exact point with money. Everyone wants money put on their lap. If you truly wanted money, you wouldn't be able to sleep until you've had it. And this is the point. So you're saying you go down a shit spiral, then you're not cut out to be rich, my friend. Get a job in Starbucks and piss off. Because when I had nothing, I couldn't be distracted. You couldn't distract me from what I wanted. That's who I am. If I want something, I'm gonna get it. I do not need to be motivated. I'm a disciplined person. If I allocate X amount of time to work, I'm gonna do it. It's discipline. You're gonna have to work when you don't feel like working. That's how it's gonna have to be, or you're never gonna be eating.
3. Just do it now. You can always reiterate.
When I read your comment, I put it on my board and I said, I'm gonna sit down someday and I'm gonna make this manifesto video that's gonna be the greatest video on how to get things done when you don't feel like it. Am I ever gonna feel like making that video, that perfect video? I doubt it. So instead, I put it on my board and I scheduled it for today and I said, today, right now, I am going to make that video. Is it gonna be perfect? No, it's not gonna be perfect. Is it gonna be the end all be all of all motivational get things done when you don't feel like it videos? Maybe not, but I can try it again. I can do it again. I can make another iteration of this and I can keep on going.
4. Consistency beats heroic feats every time.
Just because you don't feel like doing something, that's never ever an excuse for not getting it done. And you know what? If I had that attitude, if I had that choice, I wouldn't be recording videos right now. I didn't feel like getting up this morning, early in the morning, and doing what I need to do. I didn't feel like scheduling the Instagram posts that I had. I didn't feel like recording these videos, but I did it anyway. Motivation comes and motivation goes. And if you live your life based on your motivation or how you feel, you're gonna be inconsistent. And consistency is the key to winning. Consistency is the key to success. The people who win are not the people who are heroic. It's better that you wake up every morning and run or hit the gym every single day instead of you going out one day and say, I'm gonna run a marathon and just running a marathon and then never running or never working out for the rest of the year. It's better to be consistent every day to make that forward progress every single day.
A lot of it's here, and then your ability to continue to show up every single day and do that repetition. I also love that the saying, a high tolerance for monotony is an underrated superpower.
Yeah.
And that's what people aren't willing to do either. They're not willing to show up every single day and get bored out of their mind. Do you think I like going to the pool and swimming thousands of laps? And that is so mind-numbingly ridiculous. How about the treadmill sessions we do? How about through the winter when I've got to do a 6-hour ride on my indoor trainer? What? Nobody wants to do that. That's not fun for anybody. I don't care who you are or what type of recluse. That's not fun. That's the type of stuff that people aren't willing to do. That's the type of stuff that people don't see. One of my favorite all-time commercials is an Under Armour commercial with Michael Phelps. And it shows all of those moments where he's getting up at 4:30 in the morning and in the pool by himself and running with the chains and it's pitch black outside and all these things, because we've all heard this. It's the prep in the dark that allows us to shine in the light. And that's what people don't do, is the prep in the dark. Or they're worried about, I got to post on social media and make sure the lighting's right and this. Shut up.
5. Why funk up all the hard work you've done?
No matter who you are, when you're having a good day, when you're motivated, when you feel good, when you feel like doing the work, you do the work. You go to the gym, you go for the run, you go for the workout. You push yourself because you feel like it. And even some days when you don't quite feel like it, but you're still motivated to some degree, you go for it. But a majority of people who have not learned the skill to work without motivation, what ends up happening is one day they're not motivated. One day they don't feel like it. And on that one day, they f up everything they've been building up until that time. They completely f it up, because that's the way that life works. It's very, very hard to build a skyscraper. It takes a lot of architects and engineers and time and resources and material and money. But it can be knocked down in 20 seconds with a wrecking ball. That's all it takes. And that's your life. And that's why people fail, and that's why you keep on failing, and that's why you keep on climbing up the hill and rolling right back down.
6. You knew this is gonna happen, so don't repeat the same shit, will you?
How do you do this? How do you work without motivation? You have to pre-decide ahead of time that you are going to become unmotivated at some point, and what are you going to do? You know that this shit is going to happen. You've been there before. Remember those guitar lessons you signed up for? Remember that programming project that you started, that open source project or whatever it was? You're going to build that iOS app. Remember that business that you started, or that book that you started writing? Remember all of those things, or that workout program that you abandoned 15 days into it when you're going to get those six-pack abs? Why did you stop those things? Did you stop them because you forgot to do them? Did you stop them because they were too hard? No, it was none of those things. It was because you lost motivation. You were no longer motivated. You're not going to want to achieve them someday, and someday soon. And what the f are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it when you reach that point? Are you going to give up, just like you've given up before, and be a failure and never get anywhere in life and never become successful? Or are you going to say, you know, it doesn't matter?
7. Just stick to the damn plan and you will get there.
It is very easy for me to lose motivation. It doesn't take much. I wake up in the morning many days and I don't want to make videos. I wake up in the morning many days and I do not want to go to the gym or to go for a run or to do what I'm supposed to do or fast or any of those things. But I have planned out what I want to achieve in life, and so I have forced myself to do it anyway. You have to have a plan. When I know what I'm supposed to do, I can do it without motivation. When I don't know what I'm supposed to do, I need motivation to get it done. I know that in a couple hours here, I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna lift. But I'm not just gonna lift any weights, I have an exact routine that I'm gonna lift. Today I'm feeling pretty motivated, I'm feeling pretty good about lifting weights. But on some days, I'm not gonna feel like lifting, I'm not gonna feel like going to the gym, and I'm not gonna feel like doing a lot. On those days, when I have that routine, when I have that schedule on my calendar, and I know I need to go lift, it's gonna get me through it. All I have to do is I just have to show up and I just have to do what I'm supposed to do. And that's the key. If you develop a plan and you tell yourself that I don't have to have motivation, all I have to do is stick to the plan and I will get there, then you will get there, you will succeed. For challenging things in life, it is required. When you are running and you've gone 5, 6 miles, maybe 7 miles, you do not feel motivated to continue running. You have to tell yourself when you're running a marathon that I am going to do it. You have to tell yourself that all I have to do is keep on running and I will eventually get there. A lot of times the thought process that's going through my head when I'm doing a good 10, 15 mile run or I'm running a marathon is that Every step that I take puts me one step closer, and that's one less step that I will have to take. All I have to do is make it. All I have to do is hold on. Many times in life, that's all you have to do. You want to be successful here on YouTube, making a YouTube channel. So many people have this dream, and when they hear that I'm a YouTuber, that I've got a YouTube channel with 100-some thousand subscribers, they get really excited. They're like, oh, I wish I could do that. You can do that. You want to know how? All you have to do is start making videos and keep making videos. And even when no one's watching your videos, you keep making videos and you keep on going day after day, even when you don't feel like it. You want to succeed in fitness. You want to develop that physique. You want to get those six-pack abs. Again, you don't feel like dieting today, but guess what you do? You do it. You stick to the plan. You do it day after day. You don't have that motivation, yet you do it anyway. All of those things you want to achieve in success. You want to build wealth. You want to become a millionaire. I retired young and built up a couple $1 million worth of net worth. How did I do it? I didn't do it by following my motivation and choosing whatever direction I wanted to go that day. I did some hard shit. There was a lot of things I did, from investing in real estate, even when it was like just a pain in the ass, and who wants to deal with this shit and go and look at more properties and deal with tenants and deal with all the headaches of that and research. Even when I was doing Pluralsight courses, when I was making courses, when I was creating these businesses, writing blog posts, creating videos, creating tutorials, all that shit, I did it. But I can guarantee you, most of the time, I did not have motivation. I got kneed in the ribs. I could hardly run. I'm probably screwed for this marathon. My motivation for it went way down. But you know what I did? I did every painful workout. Do you know what it is like to run 15 miles with busted ass ribs? It sucks. It sucks to run 15 miles. It sucks to run 15 miles when every breath and every step hurts. Talk about lack of motivation. I had no motivation to run that 15 miles. Not only do I know that I'm running this and I'm not going to hit that PR, but it is going to be painful the whole way. Those things all stack up, but you know what I said to myself? I said, you know what, John? Doesn't matter. So you see on that calendar that you have, mother. That's what I said. I said, it says run 15 miles. It doesn't say if your ribs are okay. It says run 15 miles, mother. And so I told myself, I said, you know what, John? It doesn't matter if you're motivated, you're gonna do it, because that is on the calendar. That is what you're supposed to do. This is life or death. Because if you decide today that you're not gonna run 15 miles, in 2 years, in 1 year, in 6 months, you're gonna be a fat ass pig with no control over your life, no ability to accomplish any goal in life, because this is the one thing that you have. The one thing that you have in life, the only thing that you have, is the ability to make a decision. Think about that. That's the only thing that you have. That's it. Everything in your life comes from the one thing you have. Free will. God's gift to you, the ability to make a decision. If you cannot make the decision, if you cannot force yourself to do the things that are necessary to accomplish your goals in life, if you cannot make that decision, if you give up that ability to make decisions, if you allow fate and other people and emotions and whatever comes your way in life to take that from you, to make the decision for you, your tiredness, your achy legs, your hurting ribs, and all of those things to make the decision for you, you're not living your life. You're in the back seat going for a ride. The world and someone else is taking you for that ride. Learning to work without motivation, it's the same thing as saying learning to make decisions, to have sovereignty over your own life, to exert your own will upon yourself, and to not allow fate and victimhood and all of these other things to determine the course of your life.
For me, everything in my life is life or death. There's not a single thing that's not life or death, because that's the only way to maintain full control of your life. My definition of freedom is your ability to execute your will upon the world. And if you can't do it through your own body, you're in the backseat of a car that someone else is driving. That's your life. I want to be in the driver's seat. So the only way I can do that is to make everything life or death. Every single thing, every single gym session, every workout, every single thing that I need to get done, it has to get done. There's no choice.
One of the only things in this world you can control is your state of mind. You can't control the weather. You can't control other people. You can't even control your health. You might get a brain hemorrhage, or you might get hit by a bus, or you might get assassinated. One of the very few things in the world you have genuine control over is your state of mind. You decide if you're a disciplined person. You decide if you're a happy person. You decide if you're a depressed person. These are things that in real time you can affect in your brain. This is all you can control on Earth. If you can't control that, then you're just a feather in the wind. and life's gonna blow you around, and you might land somewhere good, you might land in dog shit, nobody knows. So if you're gonna be that kind of person, then you have no will, then you're just at the whims of the earth. Your state of mind is what you should be able to control. If you can't wake up and say, today I'm making some money, and actually try your very, very best, and actually stay dedicated to that task. If you can't do that,
think of it as being a pinball in a pinball machine. Just can bounce around. Maybe you'll score, maybe you won't, I don't know. It's not up to you once you let go of that control. So never let go of that control.
Just suck it up and do it. I don't care if you don't feel like it. I don't care if you no longer want to shoot for that goal. If you said you're gonna do it, then you do it. That's it. That's it, period. You make that your motto in life. You make that the principle, the highest principle that you stand for in life. And sometimes it's gonna suck. And sometimes it's gonna be pointless. Sometimes you're gonna be running on a treadmill at 2 a.m. and saying this doesn't really matter. And it's not gonna matter, but it will matter, and I'll tell you why. Because it's the sovereignty. It's that ability to make a choice that you are exercising. You are saying to yourself, I don't care if you're tired, body, mind, I don't care if you don't want to do this. I don't care if you're not getting a dopamine hit. You're going to do it. I'm going to will you and make you do it. And the stronger you become at doing that, the more you exercise that muscle, the better that you'll become, and you will become unstoppable.
9. This is the perfect opportunity to grow.
So when you wake up in the morning and you don't feel motivation and you know you got to do something, don't think of it as the work you have to do. Think of it in two ways. One is that you are harnessing and you are developing that skill of working without motivation. And the only way that you can develop that skill is when you don't feel motivated. Every time that you get out there on the battlefield and you don't feel like fighting, realize that's the time when you're gonna have the most significant amount of growth. When you feel like doing something and you do it, you don't grow very much. You don't gain very much. But when you feel like shit and it's hard and you've got the world beating down on you and you don't feel like doing it, and yet you rise up, you take up your sword and you go in the field and you fight, that's when you grow. That's when you grow the most. That's when you experience the largest period of growth. That's when you really change the character of your soul and become something more and become something greater. So these are the opportunities. Don't see it as I don't feel like doing shit today. Instead, see it as this is the opportunity. Because if I felt great today, if I felt motivated, I would have limited potential for growth. But because I feel like shit, because I don't want to do it, and I do it anyway, that's what makes me great. That's what makes me greater. In fact, that's the only thing that separates the winners from the losers. The winners are the people that do it whether they feel like it or not. They have discipline. The other major second point is that it is a grind. It is required. Have the expectation that it is a grind. Don't start on any kind of journey. Don't start on any kind of project. Don't start on anything believing that it will be simple, that it will be fun. It will always be a grind. There is no shortcut. There is no way to accomplish anything great in life without the grind. You cannot skip the grind. And when you recognize that and you realize that is part of it, then you can start to love and enjoy the grind because you know that this is the path, and you also know that this is the path that other people will not take. And you will become greater, and you will succeed, and you will go to places where other people will not, because they are not willing to go through the grind. So love the grind, work without motivation, and become a bulldog.